Thank you. So I'm sure a couple of us here have heard the phrase or the word, the heart of the Commonwealth. You might have asked yourself, what are they talking about? Who are they referring to? They're actually talking about the center of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, which is Worcester. Since being settled in the 1600s, Worcester has been known as a hotbed of innovation. First, for producing cables, wires, and large machinery as a transportation hub in the 1800s, but also for being the first in producing Valentine's cards, first in producing the smiley faces, three-decker houses, as well as also the first pressure spacesuit, and even the first monkey wrench. Beyond all that, Worcester is also known as a gateway city with very unique neighborhoods that have different personalities and characteristics. All of these have been shaped and influenced by the rich history and architecture, as well as by the diverse people and groups of people that have traveled to Worcester to live here, or better known as Worcester, as many people refer to it. However, after World War II, Worcester's development began to slow down, and it started losing its attractiveness to neighboring cities like Boston and Providence, who were able to adapt and modernize at a faster rate. Those cities and their campuses give way to an inviting array of restaurants, bars, shops, coffee houses, and music clubs. Their students and people are able to interact in lively streets and ride side by side in their public transit. And then there's Worcester. From one side of the city to the other, Worcester hosts over 10 colleges and over 35,000 students, all of them which work, live, and study here. That is a big portion of the city. However, Worcester is most likely to portray an image of its gritty and industrial past and not as a vibrant higher education hub. It looks something more like this. In fact, my IQP partner is from Albania, and he had never been to the US before. When he applied to WPI, he was expecting Worcester to look something more like this. But when he got here, he actually found out that Worcester looked like this. But why? Why does it have to be like that? Take a moment and imagine if our downtown, instead of looking like this, was a bit more lively and inviting and looked something like this. What if our Worcester Commons and our parks here served as a place for students to go on Sundays and have fun and relax and meet other students? What if on the weekends, instead of just having the Goat's Head Restaurant, Highland Street, and fraternity houses, we had a place in downtown where we could all go and have fun, but also meet other students? This is all possible, but there is one problem that we have identified. This is what Worcester currently looks like. There's the city, and then we have all the colleges. But I think it should look something more like this, something a little bit more integrated. Currently, there is a huge gap between the city and the colleges, and just between the colleges themselves as well. I can assure you that most of you here have not gone to another college campus in Worcester, or probably have been to one or two. How many of you have actually heard about something that's going on in another school, or have even attended another event at another school? All right, a couple of you. But there's a big challenge here, because there's no sense of community. There's no unity, and there's no connection between any of us. However, here at WPI, or you might be asking yourself, what can Worcester offer to me? Why should I leave WPI campus if I have everything here? Worcester actually has a lot out there, and I'm sure most of you have not explored it yet. But here at WPI, we live such a fast-paced life with our rigorous academic course load and the multiple activities that we have here that sometimes we forget that we live in Worcester. But you can go out there, and grab a bite at the various restaurants and diners that we have here that portray the rich diversity that we have here in the city. You could also visit one of the 35+ museums that we have here. For instance, the Worcester Art Museum, which is around the corner, is free for WPI students, or the Ecotarium. It also offers us a central location that allows us to travel to all the neighboring cities within an hour. We can go to Boston, Springfield, Hartford, and even Providence just within an hour, all which could be accessed through public transit or through buses that leave from Union Station. But what I think is most unique about Worcester is the fact that the colleges are collaborating academically. Worcester is one of the few cities that allows students to cross-register to courses that are offered in another school. For instance, if I'm a WPI student and I want to learn French as my humanities requirement, I cannot take that here at WPI, but I can go over to Worcester State and take those courses. I think that is something very unique that we should take advantage of. But here at WPI, we have some of the best engineers, innovators, and student leaders in the country. We never take no as an answer, and we're always looking for ways to improve what is being done already. We're using the latest technology to find some innovative solutions in biotechnology, fire protection, robotics, and many other areas. And we're also having a huge impact through our project-based curriculum, the hundreds of MQPs and IQPs that have had a huge impact globally, but also here in Worcester. Now imagine what we could do if we combined that engineering and technology expertise with other students in order to grow the city of Worcester. What if we had an engineer at WPI collaborate with a political science student at Holy Cross, and a business student at Assumption, and a marketing student at Worcester State? What if our project-based curriculum was something that was applied to the whole community and we engaged with other students? By collaborating with other students and using that young and innovative mindset that all of you have, we can make Worcester a college town. What if our civil engineers and architectural engineers were helping develop new buildings that were more sustainable and modern? What if our computer science students were developing new platforms and applications for students to stay connected with the city and with each other? The opportunities could be endless. And yes, it won't be easy, and it won't happen in 1 or 2 years. These are long-term projects and things that will have an impact in the long run. But us, as a leading institution here at WPI, we should take the first step. There are several organizations out there that are already trying to engage students with the city. They're putting promotions and events and providing opportunities for students to network and find jobs here in Worcester. For instance, the Worcester Regional Chamber of Commerce has already created a partnership with Startup Worcester in order to incubate and retain students here and promote the whole idea of students starting their own business in Worcester. However, these are all initiatives that are being run by the city or by professionals here. But what are the students doing about it? What are the students doing to improve Worcester? Which is why we founded the Worcester Student Government Association. This is a student-led organization that was founded 2 years ago, which main purpose is to advocate and represent the student needs and perspective of the city to the city officials and businesses. We've been working for the past 2 years with the Worcester Regional Transit Authority, the WRTA, to improve public transportation in Worcester, because we've identified that as a major problem here. There is transportation, but students are not aware of it. We also have identified other areas, like safety and cleanliness in the city, or even the way that promotions and advertisement is being given to the students in the city. But joining the WSGA is not the only way to have a say and have an impact. A lot of students are out there already working on their own, working with city officials, or just starting their own businesses to have an impact. For instance, there are a couple students at Clark University who are developing this phone application called WooConnect, which will serve as a platform for students to know what's going on at other campuses and to know what's going on in the city. It's going to be on the go on your phone. Initiatives like this are what we need to improve Worcester and make it like a college town. But I'm not here just to tell you what Worcester has to offer or what are the problems that we need to address. I'm here because I want to plant the seed in you, and I want to encourage you to be proactive, to find a way in which you can leverage your engineering expertise to make an impact in the city. Just because you're a student, it doesn't mean that you cannot drive change here. In fact, WPI is already doing amazing things with its technology and innovation. Now let's take that innovative mindset and apply it to the city that we live in. I encourage you not to have your college experience stay within the WPI campus. Instead, have WPI serve as a starting point of your college experience. Go out there and get to know what Worcester has to offer. Go out there and meet new students. Go out there and use that technology and innovative mindset that you have to make an impact in this city and to make Worcester a better place for every student that lives here. And now I ask you, what will you do to make an impact in this city? Thank you.